Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Monday, the 9th day of October. Today is Curious Events Day. Well, that seems curious. Fire Prevention Day. International Beer and Pizza Day. I got Heidi's attention there. What else? National Sneakers Day, Scrubs Day, World Post Day, National Moldy Cheese Day, and there's so many more things. Big thank you to listofnationaldays.com for that list. And it is a Movie Star Monday, and my guest is Janine Turner. She was the star of a long-running popular series on TV, Northern Exposure. Remember that?
I remember that show.
Also in films like Cliffhanger and many, many, many more. And she's the author of a brand new book that just recently came out. I've got a link to the book in the show notes. And she goes around the country and does lectures about the Constitution, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Fascinating lady. I'm excited to visit with Janine Turner coming your way on this Movie Star Monday.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A new study says that free internet should be a basic human right, along with food and shelter.
Yeah, I disagree.
I think that sometimes the internet is more of a problem than anything else.
I agree.
Anyway, the report published by the University of Birmingham in England reasons that if only a certain percentage of the world's population has access to the internet, while others, particularly in developing nations, do not, it undermines these people's basic human rights to and ability to live minimally decent lives, according to them. So they're saying, I'm putting all of the value in my life in the fact that I can get on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
How sad is that?
Before I was on the internet, I think I was happier.
I know.
We recently talked about the fact that I haven't read a full book in a long time. I used to read books all the time. Anyway, they say that it is not being able to afford afford internet access is akin to taking away an individual's freedom of expression, the right to information, and freedom of assembly. So that is according to a study.
It's free at the library.
Yeah, according to a study. So I am not going to say that they're wrong, but I'm going to say that. Well, that Heidi thinks they're wrong.
I'll say they're wrong.
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that teens get as many as 237 notifications every single day on their smartphone?
See, here we go.
Yeah.
Now, this is what we were just talking about before.
Common Sense Media did this report. Research says adults often turn off their notifications, but teens usually keep the alerts on, and they impulsively check their phones throughout the day, even when they feel bombarded. But about a fourth of notifications came during school hours. Researchers said phones and apps could improve on cutting down unnecessary alerts at times when the teen should not be disrupted. Here's one of the things I will say is a flaw in the system that is in my vehicle. When I get in my car, it connects my phone to my radio.
This drives you crazy.
And if somebody sends me a text message, it pops up on my radio saying, oh, hey, you got a message. I wish I could turn that off because I'm like, I will wait till I get there. I don't need my car telling me, hey, you should check your message now that you're driving. No, I don't want to.
Right.
It's just bizarre. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. True Blood star Joe Manganiello. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's super famous, and I feel like an idiot because I don't know how to say it. He is. When I see a photo of him, I'm like, oh, I've seen this guy in a lot of stuff. He's going to host Deal or No Deal Island. It's a new spinoff. Yeah. NBC Universal has announced they're going to be working on 13 players transported to a private island to compete for cash. in a season-long competition.
Wow.
Similar Deal or No Deal, similar to any other show with an island, and no word on when it's going to premiere.
That is hilarious.
Long Island medium Teresa Caputo is returning to television for a new Lifetime series. Teresa Caputo, Raising Spirits, going to premiere next year. And Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian both dropped $2 million at a charity auction recently. This charity auction had a whole bunch of famous people here, and they all threw a ton of money down. Some of them were a part of an all-star blackjack game where they're playing like big money to help a charity, which is kind of cool. If you want to read all the details, cool. You can see. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Researchers believe that the popularity of the internet has distracted people from voting in our elections. So this is the third story today, unintentionally.
Everyone needs the internet. Look how great it makes
So we just had a story
things.
earlier that was saying everybody needs the internet
Lord.
because it makes our lives better. We should all have the internet. And then we had a story saying kids are very distracted because of the internet and it's causing problems. And now they're saying researchers say the popularity of the internet
but it should
has
totally
people
be
so distracted
free.
that they're not voting. I don't understand how these three stories can all exist at the same time. And I did not mean for them to be in the same show. They just literally landed here. So moving on to the next story. A 10-year-old has been reunited with his beloved Lego man after creating a missing persons poster.
Oh, how cute is that?
Jack Steele was devastated after he lost a figurine because it was kind of specifically designed and based on him, Jack. To find the missing Lego man, this British schoolboy created a lost poster offering a reward of £2 for whoever found it. So how much is that? Is that like $2?
I have no idea.
£2?
Yeah, it's a little more than $2, maybe $2.50, something like that.
Well, the poster begins, has anyone seen this Lego man? He's very special to me. Alongside a drawing, Jack wrote, light brown quiff with matching eyebrows, that's his hair, Hawaiian shirt, blue with palm trees and an orange stripe at the bottom, dark green pants. Luckily, Jack's Lego man was found in a local park by a schoolgirl. The girl's mother contacted Jack's mother after seeing the missing poster on Facebook. The family was so relieved that it all worked out that they gifted the girl an extra box of chocolates for helping find the missing Lego man.
She'd rather have chocolate anyway.
So, she got the £2 too, I'm sure. I mean, I hope so. It's like, hey, a deal is a deal.
Where's my money, man?
Either that or the Lego man gets it. I think it's really cute. That is an adorable story. That was almost my good news, but I decided to put it here instead. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Our guest today, Janine Turner. You might know her from television, Northern Exposure, from movies like Cliffhanger. She's also an author, and she's got a Broadway play, and she's got a whole pile of stuff. Janine, is there anything you don't do?
Well, I can't fix a tire.
There you go. But you know what? You're not missing anything there. That's not any fun anyway.
Okay, there you go.
So let's talk a little bit about this new book, The Pivot Principle. Now, this is not your first book, but do I need to read the other books for this to make sense, or is this a standalone book?
This is a stand on its own book. It's about the subtitle is Finding Joy in Despair. And I think we're sort of hemorrhaging hope in our country right now. And so many people are going through anxiety attacks, panic attacks, dealing with trauma. And so the book's, I went through a really difficult time, and I got through it, and I learned a lot because I was curious. And I really think that curiosity is the cousin of humility. And And it's really through humility that true genius is generated, really, right? And by true genius, I mean what our purpose is. And so I wrote the book to think, well, maybe I can help others and be of love and service.
I love that. Let's talk about what we're going to learn when we crack open this brand new book.
Yeah, well, it's based on, it's a unique format. It deals with passion and then reason and then application. So it's 6 pivot principles about how to find joy. And essentially sort of within the despair. I went through, I had kind of linear history of trauma in my life, and then I had new trauma that triggered old trauma, and I was left alone while, through COVID, and then my daughter's in college and she's individualizing. So I found myself in some deep, despairing black holes, and I learned a lot about the brain, actually, what happens in the brain. I mean, if you deal with someone who's going through panic or anxiety, if you're going through panic and anxiety, what I find that I talk about this curiosity is I want to understand what's happening. And I learned that there's this emotional aspect, this reptilian place in our brain, 2 places, the amygdala, and it causes us to do that fight or flight or fawn or freeze.
Yeah.
And when we get into a state of anxiety or panic, that amygdala, MRIs, they've proven, right? It lights up and it kind of overactivates, and the rest of your brain, like the logical part of the brain, shuts down. So what I've learned is when you're in this kind of despair like that, like a pinball machine, your emotional reptilian brain is just trying to survive, and so we got to find a way to bring the logic back, to pull ourselves out of that state. And that's what my pivot principles are about. Whether it's listening to intuition or deep breaths or higher power, and even writing, doing something creative. And so what I did is I wrote poetry in the throes of my despair, and it's all in the book. So it's like despairing poetry, a pivot principle of how I got out of that despair and enjoy it.
That's really cool. So we actually get to see some of the poetry in the book then?
Oh yes, filled with poetry. Yes, it's despairing poetry, and then I go into the reason, the logic, which is regular writing about my pivot principle, and then there's joyous poetry. So yep. And poetry is kind of fun because whether you really understand it or not, you feel the passion of it, and then you can empathize, and so it just brings up it helps you purge. It's cathartic for both the reader or the writer.
See, and I didn't even have poet listed on that introduction. See, there's one more thing to add. You got it all
I wrote
going
a Broadway show. I have a Broadway show. I'm trying to get to Broadway. Musical.
There are so many fun things, and you must not have any downtime because you fill it with all kinds of amazing fun things in your life.
I do have downtime, but I'm always, I guess I'm a seeker, and I'm always seeking, and that's just how I keep myself busy. One of the things I talk about in the book are these gap years that I've been in while my daughter's suddenly grown. I was a single mom. It was just the 2 of us, for 18 years. And so I just want to, I find that, especially with writing, whether you're a good writer or you're a bad writer, one of my pivot principles is to pick up the pen and to just write. And I have 2 pages in each chapter where you can actually do a little writing if you want. But nice. Writing, or coloring, deep breaths, meditating, all these things are ways to get out of despair. But the writing is really great because it doesn't matter what you write. It doesn't matter if it's any good. Just pick up the pen and start to write, and it can be incredibly healing.
I love that. The Pivot Principle is the name of the book. Janine, thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you for your time today. And
Again,
remember, don't give up before the miracle.
Excellent advice. Again, the book is called The Pivot Principle. It's available now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
It's more important now than ever before to have a better credit card. We would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Mark Twain was born when Halley's Comet was visible, and he died 75 years later when Halley's Comet was visible again. That's kind of cool.
Really?
I'm sure a lot of people did, but Mark Twain was one of them. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
China censored the Chinese word censorship.
Okay.
So there's no word called censorship in China. That seems a bit odd. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The first ever online e-commerce transaction was Sanford students buying marijuana from MIT students.
Really?
So the smart kids at Stanford and MIT figured out how to transfer money back and forth so they could buy drugs.
That is
and
hilarious.
The internet was born.
And everyone should have free internet.
Oh, hey, another story. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
For 5 years, Webster's Dictionary accidentally included a word that does not exist. DORD, D-O-R-D, was a fake word that was submitted, and they put it in.
Oh, that's funny.
And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
Before the switch to digitization, a 2-hour movie used about 2 miles of film.
Yeah.
Several fun facts.
I remember them having to be up in that little room switching those reels.
That's why they call it footage of a movie. It was based on how many feet the film was.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help you protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 36% of adults say they will do this in preparation for Halloween. What is it? You do it all the time.
I do.
Watch scary movies.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
She's a big fan.
I do that.
I know.
On a regular
and
basis.
I'm a big fan of comedy. So if we can find a funny comedy, then we're golden. So
a funny comedy?
I'm sorry, a scary comedy. There we go. Whatever.
No, because scary movies shouldn't be funny.
Oh, they should be. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com.
Do you cringe when you get your mobile phone bill? Mint Mobile can help. Just $15 a month for premium wireless. Give your family a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone to Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That is far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Season 34 of The Simpsons recently premiered.
That
And
is insane.
one word popularized by this program actually made it into Webster's Dictionary now. The word is cromulent. It was added to the dictionary in the most recent thing. The first appearance of that word was in a 1996 episode of The Simpsons.
Okay.
They use it as a synonym for acceptable or satisfactory. It is cromulent. But now it's an actual word. It's a real word.
I've never heard that word.
Oh, I use it all the time. It's quite
You do
cromulent. There's other words that made it into the dictionary, like doggo, D-O-G-G-O, it's a dog, Riz, R-I-Z-Z, repeal, appeal or charm, and goated, considered to be the greatest of all time.
Okay.
There's many others on here as well that I'm not going to go through because I don't know what they mean, and I don't know if I can say these words on the radio. But if you'd like to read them, you can find the entire list of words in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Funniest tweets of the week from parents. I'm giving dirty looks to this dad at the cafe whose kids are being obnoxious, but he's not doing anything about it. So I guess I'm going to have to deal with it because he's my kid too, or whatever. So,
Oh, funny.
another one over here. I'm directing a psychological thriller called My Twins Are Running Against Each Other for Student Council.
Oh, that would be tough.
That would be. Another tweet rather. I've been texting with Isla's mom for 3 years. When is a good time to ask her name? Oh, yeah. I've done that too, where I don't know somebody, but I've known them too
it's
long
like,
to not know their
now
name.
How do I get past this?
Yeah. You're like, I have
Yeah.
no clue what his name is, but we've been best friends for 6 years, so I
Yep.
should know that by now. And final one on here. Me. Hey, am I too wrinkly? Child, you're old. That's going to happen. Me. I'm in my shirt. Funny tweets of the week. It's the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for a new opportunity, South Dakota is calling. There's over 27,000 open jobs at this very moment. Whether you like the city life or if you're more of a fan of the rural lifestyle, South Dakota has plenty to offer. From the Black Hills and the Badlands on the west side of the state to the rolling prairies in the middle with many small towns and the city of Sioux Falls on the eastern edge, there's no state income tax in South Dakota and many job opportunities. Learn more about what's waiting for you in South Dakota at movetosd.com. That's movetosd.com. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of insurancechicken.com. Quote today from Enid Blyton, who says, "Leave something for someone, but don't leave someone for something."
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's very well done.
My brain just exploded. That's good. That's good advice.
That is very good advice.
All right. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of insurancechicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. This is amazing. What a story. Here's a headline. I gotta get him. Warren officer risks life to save a boy who has been electrocuted. So when a Michigan police officer approached an 8-year-old boy being electrocuted, they were determined to rescue the young child to save his life. He says, I got to get him.
Yikes.
So newly released video footage from the Warren Police Department vividly portrays the gripping moment when the officer valiantly rescued a child from an electrical hazard. Upon arriving at the scene, the officers discovered an 8-year-old was clinging to a wire. He's still alive. He's still breathing. Without hesitation, they sprang into action. Luckily, they were already for a prior incident. Said, I turned the corner. They were right there. They're already in the neighborhood. I turned the corner. I saw this boy laying there. I don't know what goes through your mind. Having kids, it just scared me, and I had to react. The child suffered burns to his hands and could be heard screaming as he regained consciousness. So just amazing. And there's video footage of this. The quick thinking of the officer and the collaborative efforts of all the people involved, they helped the kid get to the hospital in a remarkable 4 minutes.
Holy cow.
Other officers blocking traffic along the way to help make sure this child was okay. In recognition of their extraordinary heroism, all of these officers were honored with a Valor Award, which is amazing. So if you'd like to see this, there's video footage and there's also like photos that you can see in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
God bless law enforcement and
absolutely.
First responders, man.
First responders, the people who, I've always said it, when there's a problem and everybody else is running away.
They're running towards it.
They're running head on into it.
Beautiful.
And it's because they are
this young
heroes.
Man wouldn't be with us if it wasn't
exactly.
for him. So that's awesome.
Love this story. Like I said, I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.